Hey everyone, Ashley Mailloux, Mike Beer here with a preview from Saturday for Tampa Bay Downs. They have a couple of stakes races on their program. We'll focus in on race number 6. It's going to kick off the late pick 5. It's the Gasparilla, 3-year-old fillies in the spotlight. It's a 7-furlong event. And while it's not a big field, Mike, we talked about it. I mean, I think it's a wide open race in the sense that there's not a standout on paper. There are horses that maybe you cherry pick a race you love about them, but there are others might be a little bit hit or miss.
Yeah, to me, that's the good thing about this race too. I just didn't really feel like there was a standout in here. So if you really are able to develop an opinion on somebody that you like in here, I think it's pretty easy to sort of talk yourself into making a wager, assuming that the price is there. And the other thing about this race too is, Ashley, is I have no idea how they're going to bet this race.
Yeah, we have no morning line at the time of recording, but it'll be interesting. We'll take a look at the time form US pace projection. I mentioned it's 7 furlongs. You have a lot of horses coming from maybe 6, 6.5. One horse cutting back. That's the number 2, Love Like Lucy. It looks like the 6 towards the outside, Gerrards Cross, might be involved. That wasn't necessarily the case last time out, but they also went quick once again. First start off the freshening. I don't know necessarily who's going to make the lead. I suppose it could be that horse, but Tessellate could be close to it as well.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with making the 6 the speed of this race. There are horses that will show pace to her inside. I would just say based on her first 2 starts. I know one of them was on turf, but she looked really fast to me. And that most recent start, not only off of a little bit of a layoff there, but she got bumped really badly at the start a couple of different times. And I think it really prevented her from getting forward in that spot. I suspect that they'll come out running again this time.
We'll kick it off here with the number 1, Lady Valor, who has the late pace flag attached to her. We'll actually look at her most recent performance, which was after having about 2.5 months off. It came locally at Tampa. And in terms of the way that she finishes second in here, Ridgie ends up winning it and ends up being much the best. I always felt like Ridgie had the jump on her throughout. This is the filly that was towards the back of the pack. And I think they both ran well, Mike.
Yeah, I have no argument with that. I mean, she runs fine in here. I'm surprised that she was as short a price as she was. I guess that Keeneland, the maiden win at Keeneland, I think was maybe carrying a lot of weight there with the bettors. I don't know. I just thought she was only second best in that spot. I know her rider did sort of take her back early. He wanted to avoid getting caught wide, I guess, so he just took her back to last. And then she just couldn't run down Ridgie, but we're going to get to Ridgie in a minute. And Ridgie won that race by just staying 4 wide all the way around the track. So I'm not giving Lady Valor some kind of big excuse there.
No, I think the thing that I sort of like about her, if there's a pace meltdown in here, I do find her to be a little intriguing. Depends how you view Colonial races. I know she took some play in there, but Colonial so speed favoring. Again, she's towards the back of the pack. She's going to need pace help. And I thought she ran okay. We'll move to the number 2, Love Like Lucy for Saffie Joseph Jr., who participated in all 3 legs of the Florida Sire Stakes. And curious to get your opinions of her. I mean, obviously, she's run well in both of them, despite the big defeats. But Mythical, Lenny Lure in those races, I just think they're probably better than her by far.
Yeah, I think that's if you just look at her on paper and say that she wins her debut with the 65 and she's gotten progressively slower since then, and she's coming out of races where she's beaten a million lengths both times. I think the flip side of that analysis of her is that she actually ran really well. I thought when she won her debut, because they made her earn that. They challenged her basically every step of the way, 2 different horses, and she fought them both off to win. So that was a good performance. And since then, she's, as you point out, in against Lenny Lou. Mythical, first of all, would be 1 to 100 in this race, and they would not be able to beat her. And I think the same of Lenny Lou. Lenny Lou's more of a turf horse, but she's also good on dirt. She's a really, really good horse. So it feels like it might not look like it on paper. This is significant class relief for this horse.
And Mythical's been a little bit of a thorn in the side of the 2, Love Like Lucy. Teslate's had a similar horse, Willow Case, and we'll take a look at her most recent performance, which she sort of gets away from that horse and runs huge. Kind of wonder where the effort comes from a little bit to just dominate this field, but I just think that she got against, her friends in here. They went very quick early on, Mike, and she was just sitting, waiting to make her move.
Yeah, I mean, based on the way that she wins this race, she just towered over these horses. She always looked like she was going to win. She just absolutely smashed this field. So it's a good performance. She was the horse I struggled with the most, Ashley. I'll be honest with you. I won't be surprised when she wins here. Her 2 wins to me are fine. I know there's a sloppy track. They tried a mile. It didn't work out. Her 2 losses, I just don't think are particularly compelling performances. And so it just makes me feel like maybe she's not that good. And I did feel like she had a chance to be the favorite in here.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see if that's the case. The 4 Lightscape I find really intriguing. She's the lightly raced horse in the group, just one start late in her 2-year-old campaign. And we'll take a look at the effort. I mean, in terms of how things fare from her from the start, she is towards the back. I don't think she necessarily had a ton of trouble caused by other rivals. I just don't think she was sharp. But I thought this was probably the most impressive part of the race, Mike, is where she starts to pick everyone up. And in terms of the fraction, she got the pace help, but I think she's going to be more exciting second time out on the stretch out.
I agree. This is a really nice debut. Just does everything right. Super professional after winding up at the back of the pack early, as you mentioned, made that big run on the turn to just pass horses, every step of the way. And then she just keeps going through this stretch. This is maybe the most impressive part of the race. She just keeps going in the final furlong and gets away from these horses. This filly can run. She's got a little bit of pedigree behind her too. She's giving away experience here, but I'm not sure how much that really matters. It feels like she fits pretty well with these horses.
And I am concerned with how she won that. When people go back and look at the replay, I think she's going to take play in here, unfortunately. The 5 Ridgie, we saw her win last time out. She's actually won 3 races in a row. She came in from Presque Isle, could have claimed her for $25,000, and you can see those last 2. They've opted to protect her in those races. In some ways, I mean, I think once again she has a huge shot based on her trip, Mike. I mean, she should be maybe mid-pack in here, but I think the concern is I don't know if she's really getting better with each of her races.
That was my problem with her too. I mean, she's just going to have to get faster. I don't want to knock her because it kind of feels like she's one of the horses who probably won't take a ton of money in here. I mean, she's not going to be, some kind of huge long shot, but I don't think she's going to take a ton of money in here. And even though the 2 wins over this track aren't fast, they're both pretty good. And we already sort of talked about that win last time over Lady Valor. Yeah, she always had position on that rival around the track, but she was legit 4 wide all the way around the track, and she still won that race. So I gave her a little extra credit for that.
And then rounding out this field of 6 for the Gasparilla is Gerrards Cross. This one for Kathleen O'Connell was impressive on debut, winning by 6 lengths. I actually found her turf race to be really intriguing. Know that they went splits of 21-1 and 44-3. She had a bunch of time off, Mike. Is she a sort of horse that you could go back to and think that she's maybe intriguing if she makes the lead?
Yeah, I think she's pretty dangerous in here because I think both of her first 2 starts are good, the dirt race and the turf race. I think they're both really good performances. And I just gave her an excuse last time. Maybe she wasn't going to be effective in that race anyway, and she didn't run well after the start, but she did have legit trouble at the start of that race. And I just think it took her right out of the position that she wanted to be in. They had her on the chase from well off the pace, and I think she just didn't want to do that. Actually, I think they're gonna get aggressive with her here from the outside post, and I thought she was dangerous if she could make the lead.
Yeah, Sonny Leon climbs back been aboard in those last 2 starts. I think she should be a price as well in comparison to some of the others that we've talked about. So that's the field of 6 for the Gasparilla. Let us know who you like in the comments. We will move to our top picks in here, and we talked about it. I mean, it's a pretty wide open race. And I think when you start to look at the horses, you try to make different cases. And I don't use your top pick in here, Love Like Lucy. But I mean, for her, you mentioned it. This is significant class relief.
Yeah, that's why I ultimately took her. I was actually kind of torn between the 2 and the 6 as a top pick in here. I like your horse. I feel like she's the horse I want going forward out of this group. I just don't know if I want to bet her in this race. I do feel like she's probably going to take money in here, but we'll see how that all plays out. I was torn between the 2 and the 6. I went with the 2.
Yeah, I think when I just went through the replays, I mean, I know Tessellate was very impressive last time out winning, but for me, a debut winning the way that Lightscape did was more impressive. So carried a little bit more weight with me. And like you said, I think going forward, Lightscape's probably the most intriguing filly, especially when she stretches out around 2 turns, which I think is in her future. So 2, 4, 6, 3 for Mike, 4, 3, 5, 1 for me. It's race number 6 this Saturday at Tampa Bay Downs, the Gasparilla. Good luck.